They're the finest walleye fishermen in America. But sometimes the toughest competitors are the walleyes themselves. And here on the Mississippi River, with a championship on the line, the walleyes are teaching the walleye pros some hard lessons.
Got off.
But in the end, someone will pass this grueling test and earn the title of champion.
That's what we're after.
There it is.
The case post is right here.
Lego by me. Man, what a beauty. Yeah, nice fish. Whoa.
Your National Guard FLW Walleye Tour champion. The Quad Cities of Iowa and Illinois. 4 cities bound together by a massive river, forming a single historic community in the very heart of the country. This is one of those places where it takes hard work and persistence to succeed. And this week, nobody understands that better than the FLW Walleye pros vying for the title of Tour Champion on what has been a very tough Mississippi River.
It's been tough, you know, you just got to pick one pattern and grind it, you know, or you could run and gun, you know, it's a big decision really, and you're dealing for only a few bites a day.
I've said it earlier in the week, you know, you weren't quite sure during practice whether you had lost everything and lost your touch and didn't know what you were doing and didn't know how to fish because that was that much of a grind.
We started with 42 in 4 days. Now we're down to just the top 20 in 2 days on the legendary Mississippi River for the richest prize in all of professional walleye fishing, the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship. Hey everybody, Jason Harper joined by my partner Chip Lear in Davenport, Iowa. Chip, not gonna lie, it has been a tough fight for a lot of these anglers, but don't you think that's what makes for the most dramatic action?
Oh, especially when you've got the top walleye anglers in the world competing to be the very best walleye fishermen in the world. You know what? That's exactly what we want. I mean, think about it. When you and I go fishing, if the fish are biting, we can catch them any day, any way, anyhow. But you know what? This is what we want. It is tough, adverse conditions. And these anglers are faced with a curveball, just like you and I are every time we go walleye fishing. You know what? These guys, with the ever-changing conditions here, they got to deal with a slider. They got to deal with a fastball. They got to deal with all sorts of different pitches. And you know what? That's what's going to make it fun. We're going to learn a lot at this event. And we're all going to become better fishermen.
And I think we've already learned some lessons over the past 2 days. I mean, it's been a real horse race, a classic chess match, and these are the best anglers in the business trying to make all the right moves at just the right time. On day 1, nearly half the field decided to give up more than half of their fishing day to make the long run north through 2 locks to Pool 14. But the northern bite went south, and it was the guys who stayed closer to home, in fact, right in town, that set the tone for this tournament.
8 pounds, 14 ounces, Danny Plouts. The Mercury Ranger Pro is owning it, man.
On day 2, Danny Plouts continued to pick off his power plant fish, while Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit made another long run north, and this time his persistence paid off with the one wild card bite that everyone was looking for.
I mean, that's over 27 right there.
That one bite changed the whole tournament and vaulted the Chevy Pro into the lead with just 2 days left. Unlike a lot of classic walleye fisheries, Chip, when you're dealing with a river system like Mississippi River, aren't there so many factors you got to deal with?
Well, especially, I mean, you think about the water levels are ever changing daily, sometimes even hourly. Water clarity can adjust from day to day and place to place. It can be dark here, it can be clear there. But out here in this system, especially right here in the Quad Cities, these guys have over 100 miles of river, 4 locks and dams. Time management becomes huge. There are some anglers that are spending up to 5 hours a day running to and from their spots. And you know what? That gamble is paying off. Jason Shakura, the biggest fish of the tournament, over 9 pounds. There's other anglers like Danny Plouts that are less than 2 miles away from the start, catching solid numbers of fish.
He's got the quantity, just not necessarily the quality.
Exactly.
We got the top 20 out on the water today. Chip, when you look at that field of anglers, any names stick out to you?
Well, absolutely. Jason Shakura, biggest fish of the tournament. He can pop free at any given time. Danny Plout, this man is due. His 3rd straight top 10. He's been leading at every event, including this one to boot. Don't underestimate the rest of the field. Chris Gilman, our 2009 Angler of the Year, always rises to the occasion just like he did in 2010 as our champion there. And probably the best river rat of the bunch, Todd Zemke. Some good anglers out there.
Oh, man. All right, well, it is cut day. We cut the field of pros down to the top 10 that fish on that 4th and final day for up to $100,000. And, of course, today we will crown a co-angler champion. It's time to get the work done. Let's head out on the water and see how this is all going to shape up. The top 20 pros and top 20 co-anglers blast into the Mississippi Mist on a beautiful fall morning in the Quad Cities. The pros are trying to find a way into the top 10, and for the co-anglers, this is the final day, and we'll crown a co-angler champion before we're through. And speaking of co-angler champions, here's the guy that took home the hardware last year. Defending co-angler champ Todd Dankert of Anoka, Minnesota, with Mercury Pro Ed Stahusky, power trolling crankbaits in a back channel just 2 miles from takeoff. Ed and Todd are off to a good start, but we've got a long, long way to go before we settle anything on Old Man River.
The National Guard Walleye Tour is brought to you by Straight Talk. Cut your cell phone bill in half and feel richer. The 2012 Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, long-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Mercury Marine. New Snapple Lightly Sweetened Teas, made from the best stuff on earth. Walmart. Save money, live better. And by Kellogg's, the best to you.
Welcome back to the mighty Mississippi River in Davenport, Iowa for Day 3 of the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship. The top 20 pro and co-angler teams are on the water trying to solve what has been a nearly impossible bite. But despite the difficulty on the river, our week in the Quad Cities has been anything but difficult. The people here are as welcoming as any, and there's no shortage of things to see and do. So we sent videographer Bill Lindner out on a mission to bring us some of the sights and sounds of the Quad Cities.
This is the home of Nick Spiderbeck. He was born and raised here in Davenport, Iowa. He was an internationally known and world-famous trumpeter, or actually cornet player.
A proud military history, the best ribs in the country, and really big tractors. There's something for everyone here in the Quad Cities, including fishermen, like tournament leader Jason Shakura, who's back up in Pool 14 in the same area that gave him the only fish over 27 inches caught so far. Looks like there might be a chance he's got another one right now. Just a couple inches short of another game changer. Frustrating for sure, but those are the rules we're working under. We've got a 5-fish limit, and both walleye and sauger are legal. Everything has to be over 15 inches, but walleyes need to also be under 20 inches, with each angler allowed one fish over 27 inches per day. Anything between 20 and 27 goes back. There are 4 pools and over 100 miles of river inside the tournament boundaries, with most of the action happening in pools 14 and 16. But today, there are a trio of pros that locked down to pool 17, including National Guard pro Mark Kortz.
There's only a couple of us that have made this run down here all week long. What we're working is a little current seam down here below the dam, and it's a break, so we're just working that edge. These fish are up to your feet. This morning started out really well. We've got 3 fish in the box, and that's more than I've weighed in each day, so pretty excited about that. Like to get a couple more and get that limit. Fish. Good one, Dale.
Okay.
Get in.
That one. That is a bad sauger.
That's what we've been chasing all week. Mississippi saugers. That's gold right there. Mississippi gold.
Kortz and co-angler Dale Janota are just 1 fish away from only the 2nd limit of the entire tournament. Walmart pro Dean Arnoldelson is also in pool 17 and on the same fish. Back in pool 16, the defending champion, Everstar pro Dan Steer, is on the verge of his 2nd straight championship top 10. That's 3 in the box for Steer, and it appears the Mississippi River walleyes are in a little more cooperative mood today. So don't go anywhere. We're going to trim it to the top 10 and crown a co-angler champion when we come back. Welcome back to the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship on the Mississippi River. We've got 20 pros and co-anglers on the water today. We'll cut it down to the top 10 pros and crown a co-angler champion by day's end.
Well, we put the spinning rods away and just got the hand lines out. We just picked up 4 real quick. 2 of them we're bringing up to keep. So I think we got a chance here at scratching the limit.
Bill Shimoda is one of the best river anglers on tour, but so far this tournament has been a struggle for the National Guard Pro. Still, he may be finally hitting his stride at just the right time. Mercury pro Danny Plouts has been the most consistent guy on the water all week, and it looks like today isn't going to be any different. That's 4 in the box for Plouts and co-angler Tom Wehoff.
Nice fat sauger.
As day 3 winds to a close, it's obvious this has been the best day by far.
I've been casting RS shad wraps on Suffolk's 832 braided line, mainly to rocks. I've been fishing a lot of the dam areas, a lot of wing dams.
Kind of exciting. I think I have enough fish to make the top 10 cut. I really pray I do, because I know my son Danny, he was in 2nd place going out today, and I really don't know what he has, but he's caught some fish, and it'd be so sweet. We'd be the only father-son team to make the championship top 10. And honestly, I want to beat him.
At the weigh-in, the top 10 takes shape, and the co-anglers battle for the title.
8 pounds, 14 ounces launches you into 3rd place right now, Bill Shimoda. 8 pounds even launches you into 2nd place right now, Mr. Kortz. 8 pounds, 2 ounces. 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Great job, guys. 6 pounds, 13 ounces gives you 2-day total. 14 pounds, 3 ounces, Dan.
But despite the stronger bite, no one can take the top spot from Day 2 leader Jason Shakurit until Mercury Pro Danny Ploutz and co-angler Tom Wehoff take the stage.
6 pounds, 6 ounces. 21 pounds even for Danny Ploutz. Grab a hold of these fish, guys, and hold them up, because Danny Ploutz, you are leading this event.
Ploutz and Wehoff move into the lead with only one pair left. Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit and co-angler Stuart Lubbard.
If it's more than 2 pounds and 3 ounces, Stuart's the champion. This weight is 1 pound, 10 ounces. Tom Wehoff, you are the co-angler champion.
Wow! By just 8 ounces, Tom Wehoff of Pierce, South Dakota is the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour co-angler champion. On the pro side, it was a tough one-fish day for Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit, but it was enough to hang on to a slim lead over Danny Ploutz with just 1 day to go.
I've been there since the beginning. I'm the only guy to fish every one of these events since they started. Had an opportunity to win that first championship, and I let it slip away from me, and here we are in the last one, and I'm sitting in the lead, and you know, I couldn't ask for anything more, and I got to find a way to get it done and take this thing home and end this long road.
The last 2 tournaments that I was really close, of winning those, I had the opportunity, and I wouldn't do anything different. Everything worked out really good. It just didn't happen. And this one, I'm just going to go out fishing. You know, I know that the fish are there. I'm just going to keep my head in the game, and we got $100,000 on the line. You know, that's a pretty good motivator, and to be crowned champion. You know, that's going to be motivating me every second of the day tomorrow.
This has become one of those tournaments where every day is different, and every hook set could mean victory. The final day run for the championship title begins right after this. Dawn on the final day of the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship, and the top 10 are ready to go for one last battle with Old Man River.
I think the biggest challenge today is going to be trying to make up ground on 2 guys ahead of me. All right, I'm just going to worry about how I fish, not really about what they're doing.
What's going on in my head is that I'm hopefully somehow, some way, 1/27 and 1/16 inch fish swims up to the power dam that I'm fishing today. I think he's been there all week looking at my lures. I hope today he bites them.
He's pretty pumped. I'm glad he zeroed the first day, because he'd probably beat me right now, because he's doing pretty good. Make me cry.
Hey, whatever happens, happens, okay? Don't worry about it.
We'll get her done.
Good luck, Dan. He said don't read it till the day's over. That's pretty cool.
An entire season of highs and lows, ups and downs, and it all comes down to this. 10 anglers fishing for 8 hours, but there's only room for one champion. Hey everybody, welcome back. Jason Harper along with Chip Lear. Chip, this may be one of the greatest top 10s we've ever assembled. What do you think?
Well, I think this makes perfect sense that we're looking at the 10 guys left to compete for this title, because the challenging conditions that they face this week, only the best of the best can rise to this. We thought this was going to become a blowout after day 2. Jason Shakurit brings in this 9.5 pound, just absolute monster walleye. But you know what? Danny Ploutz, these other guys catching limits, catching up to Jason. It's tightened up to a 1.5 pound difference going into this final day. This is incredible. Now, with the ability of this river to put out a big fish, everybody's one hook set away from being right back in the game and potentially the champion.
And it sounds like there may be 10 different strategies happen on the final day, including a shocker.
Oh, what a big, big decision made by Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit. He has earned the top spot going into this last day by running 2.5 hours to get to these big fish spots that he's been concentrating on. Now, the last day, what does he do? He doesn't go that way. He goes a completely different direction. He's going to work on numbers of fish in hopes that he can hold on to that 1.5 pound lead. big, big, big decision.
What a gamble for the final day. Leaving the comfort zone where he's been 3 days on some new water. Will the gamble pay off in the end? It's time to find out. Let's head out on the water.
Oh, if that don't wake you up, I don't know what will. Nice 20-mile ride, 29-degree weather. 58 miles an hour. And the gate is open. It's gonna feel kind of good actually to fish before 10 o'clock in the morning. Here it is, 8 o'clock, and we're locking down to pool 17. We'll be fishing by 8:15, 8:20 in the morning, so I'll have an hour and a half jump on what I've had the last 3 days. That feels good.
But even though the Chevy Pro will get an earlier start, he's still going to be behind Mercury Pro Danny Plouts, who is just 2 miles from the takeoff and already on his trusty power plant hotspot.
What we got here is we got the power dams right here, and it's creating an eddy. Even though we got some water back here, in between here we got an eddy back here, and the bait fish, they're pushing all the bait fish up against that wall right there. And this is where we've been catching the majority of our fish, is casting up to that, kind of like this, there's a slack current type deal up there, and that's right where the fish have been pushing up these bait fish, and that's where we've been catching them. And what we got right here is we got a rock ridge, like a spine that comes out here to right about here. It's kind of like an L shape right here. And we've just been casting right along there and hitting it every once in a while, you know, going over the top, and that's where we've been picking up our fish. Fish, fish, big fish. There's one. Oh, it's a good eye. It's a good eye. Oh my God, look at this eye, it's barely hooked. Yeah! First fish of the day.
And just like that, less than an hour into the final day, and we already have a new leader.
Look at that, perfect. Almost an 18.5 incher.
But on the Mississippi, it can change again just as fast. Welcome back to the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship from the Quad Cities, where Mercury Pro Danny Plouts just put his first keeper of the day in the box.
Barely hooked, hit the back end of that crankbait. So that's telling me that they're kind of inactive right now. They're just coming up and nosing it. So I'm just gonna slow down my retrieve and try to keep that bait in front of them as long as I can. But it feels good to take the pressure, get the pressure, get that first one in the boat. These guys are still running. There's one. Little guy. Oh, drunk fish.
But Danny isn't the only Plouts in the area. Less than a mile away, we find Dan Plouts Sr., who started the day less than 7 pounds behind his son and 8 pounds off the lead.
After 3 days of fishing this area, there's a couple of key spots. Right below that chute over there, there's some rocks along the wall. And these fish are relating to the rocks, and behind me there's a little rock spine that comes off a point. And the fish seem to stage on that. But right there's some rocks in the water.
This is an FLW first, having a father-son duo in the top 10, fighting for a tour championship. That adds more than a little emotion to this final day for both father and son who share the same walleye fishing dream.
My dad's been taking us fishing at these tournaments for years. I think I was knee-high to a grasshopper when he started taking us out there. I don't know how he got any pre-fishing done, because us 3 boys would always, you know, having water fights in the boat and stuff like that, and sinking his boat. And
I've been doing this game a long time, and I've been watching him go through the trials and tribulations of being a professional fisherman and getting his game face on, and he's made tremendous strides. And I'm really proud of him. It was tough for me to try to let him get into the game because it is very stressful and a lot of work to do. But he showed so much interest and so much demeanor on handling the stuff outside of fishing, you know, the PR work, the talking, that I knew it was his niche.
What my dad's taught me was work ethic. That, you know, just work hard and the results will show itself. You know, you work hard and then, you know, things will come to you. And you know, that's what he's taught me. You know, just work hard and then you'll get places.
My mom came down. I love her to death. I lost my dad in June. Everybody goes through this, you know, and everything happens for a reason. So here Danny and I are sitting in the biggest show of the year, and I know my dad's watching. My wife, been a trooper all the way through, and honestly, all my grandkids and my kids watch this stuff live. I love them to death. I'll get ribbon for this, you know, I'll get a lot of things, but yeah, they mean a lot to me.
An incredible fishing team that doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. Here's Evinrude pro Ryan Jurek, who started the day in 9th but already has 2 keepers in the box.
It's a nice one. It's a nice one. Yes! Sauger. Yeah, baby. 17 inches, man.
The Evinrude pro from Rhinelander, Wisconsin is fired up, just 2 bites away from a final day limit. Down in Pool 17, the major strategy changes continue for Chevy pro Jason Shakurit. Not only is he some 60 miles away from where he spent the first 3 days, but now he's gone from pitching jigs to hand lining.
There's one. Feels pretty small. On the top. Feels like a small one. Yep. It's a start. Not the right size, but it's good to know there's a few here yet.
Not quite big enough to keep, but it's at least a sign that the gamble to change strategies might pay off. If it does, we could be in for a real shootout.
There's one. Got off.
The National Guard Walleye Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Save money, live better. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. National Guard, always ready, always there. Evinrude E-Tech. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. And by Everstart, fish more, worry less.
We're back at the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship final day, and back with Mercury pro Danny Ploutz, who's got just 1 fish in the live well.
There's one. got off.
On a bite like this, it really hurts to miss those rare opportunities.
And you can't miss fish like that. He didn't hit it very hard. That's tough. That is tough.
Here's a guy that's been getting tougher and tougher all week, Ed Stahusky, who has a serious reason for giving us his impression of the Invisible Man.
I like my fishing ninja mask. I had a little bit of skin cancer earlier in the year, so try to cover up everything I can.
The Masked Man already has 2 fish in the live well.
Oh, come on, baby. Yeah.
Defending champion Dan Steer is trolling the same stretch of back channel, but the Everstart Pro is still waiting for his first legal fish. The defending champ is on the board, and all of this is happening in sight of Mercury Pro Danny Plouts.
Why, Minnie? This is frustrating. Everybody's catching fish around me. Everybody.
Danny isn't the only one starting to feel a little frustration. The hot bite in Pool 17 has cooled off considerably for everyone, including Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit, who's still waiting on his first keeper.
That's how she goes right there, boys. 14 7/8.
An angler's most important asset on a bite like this is patience, and no one has been more patient than Danny Plouts, who's made the same cast with the same bait at the same spot 8 hours a day for the last 3.5 days.
There's one. There's a good fish. Oh yeah. Stay hooked, baby. There you go, number 2. Keep at it. See what he measures. 16 1/4. Finally got to be able to keep one on. I missed like 4 or 5 of them already, and finally got to keep one buttoned up, and a nice 16 1/4 incher. Definitely helped the cause. It's just been a tough morning. I've been watching people catch fish from the shore and all around me, and you know what? This is some, they say tournament fishing's easy. It's not easy. I mean, to be in this position, I can't even explain the emotions, and gotta get a couple more in the boat and make a run at this.
The final day is winding down on Old Man River, but the 2012 championship is still far from over, and we'll have a front row seat to watch it all play out when we come back.
Do you hear it? The water is calling.
That's a gem. Yeah!
Have you ever dreamed of becoming a tournament fisherman but didn't know where to start? Take your first step and visit fishflw.com. With compelling articles, videos, and a vast array of helpful advice, learn everything you need to know about how to get started. With nearly 200 tournaments a year, FLW is the largest tournament fishing organization in the world. They offer a full range of tournaments for anglers of all experience and skill levels. Tournament trails like the Walmart Bass Fishing League are the perfect opportunity for the novice or seasoned weekend angler to compete in their first tournaments. There's no previous tournament experience needed, and as a co-angler, you don't even need your own boat. With entry fees as low as $100, it's easy to find a tournament that's right for you. For more information, visit fishflw.com.
The final day of the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship is coming to a close, but the battle for the trophy is far from over. Here's Evinrude Pro Ed Stahusky, who started the day in third and needs just one more bite for a final day limit. The masked man, Ed Stahusky, is the first to put a limit in the box, and he still has time to go look for a big bite. Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit's gamble on a new final day game plan has not paid off. Now he's back in pool 16, hoping for a last-minute bite.
Come on, be the right one. Feels kind of like a sheephead, but it's pulling hard. Yep, sheephead.
It's becoming a final day to forget for the Chevy Pro. Back with Danny Plouts with 2 fish in the box.
Fish, fish. Good fish. Come on, baby, stay on. Oh, big sauger. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a huge sauger. And look at that, came off. I had him hooked on the outside of the net. Thank God he stayed on. That's a good fish right there. 2.5 pounder or so, 2 pounder.
An incredible catch for the Mercury Pro. When Danny goes to net the fish, the crankbait gets hooked on the outside of the net. Now 9 times out of 10 that fish usually gets off, but not this time.
19.5-inch sauger. Can you believe that? Here, give me some knuckles. Give me some knuckles. 19.5-inch sauger, baby. That was pure luck.
He said don't read it till the day's over. That's pretty cool. Good luck, Dad. We love you.
The final day of the 2012 championship is over, and it's up to the scale to give us a champion. At the Quad Cities River Center, a packed house is ready to see some fish. But as the weigh-in gets underway, it's obvious this was no easy final day.
It looks like we got one fish in there. We're gonna hit our button. Your day 4 total, 1 pound, 1 ounce, so not quite enough. 15 pounds, 4 ounces. Your weight, 1 pound, 2 ounces. Your 4-day total is 16 pounds. Swing around front, Mr. Courts. We're gonna find out how we're gonna make up that. Oh! Nothing, another tough day. Swing around the outside.
Finally, with just 3 anglers left, Ed Stahusky lifts the day's only limit to the stage.
3, 2, 1. There he is!
Oh, look at that, Quad Cities. Ed Stahusky, Michigan Pro, Chip Lear, looking to leave a mark.
A beautiful fat sauger. That slides in right there. You need 5 pounds, 4 ounces, Ed Stahusky. You've got yourself 7 pounds, 13 ounces. First place.
The Evinrude Pro finally takes the lead away from Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit. Next up is Mercury Pro Danny Ploutz. It was an up and down day for Danny with a handful of frustrating misses, but it was capped by an incredible, unlikely catch. However, is just 3 fish enough to take over the lead?
That young Danny Ploutz needs 3 pounds and 15 ounces to take over first place. Those are his next 2 fish.
Look at that, Chip Lear. Danny Ploutz.
Your final day of fishing for 2012 is going to weigh you 6 pounds and 2 ounces, 27.2, first place so far.
Danny Ploutz takes over the top spot with just 1 guy left, Chevy Pro Jason Shakurit.
Is it Jason Shakurit, the Chevy Pro? Is it young Danny Ploutz? Who's our moment? Let's see the fish, Mr. Shakurit. Danny Ploutz!
Woo! Unbelievable. He hangs on to the end. Ranger Mercury Pro Danny Ploutz hangs on. The Mercury Pro from Madison, Wisconsin, who's been training to be a champion from the day he was born, comes from behind on the final day to capture the 2012 National Guard FLW Walleye Tour Championship.
A special thanks to all my family, my mom, especially my dad, everybody here that made it, my grandma, my aunts, my uncle, and this is for you, Maggie, my 3-year-old daughter at home, and she's watching this, so Daddy caught some big fish today.
An incredible finish to one of the toughest championships we've ever seen. Congratulations to our champion, Danny Ploutz, and all of the top 10 on a fantastic tournament. As always, you can get all the details on this or any FLW event by logging on to FLWOutdoors.com. Another great season on the National Guard FLW Walleye Tour comes to a close with another deserving champion. So from our partner Chip Lear and the entire FLW crew, I'm Jason Harper. Thanks for watching.